Here's a good question. How do you get somebody in a group to not be defensive? Well, what do you mean by that? Why are you asking me? This is a hard one because when you say how do you get someone to be not defensive, in the psychological world we talk about subject and object, and you're only one of those, right? So there are some people you've got to realize that subjectively they are defensive. I mean, some people have blonde hair, some people have dark hair, some people are defensive, and some people aren't defensive, right? Just as a character structure. So just remember that sometimes people walk into your group and they're bringing defensiveness with them as a part of who they are. Secondly, you can actually make it worse, right? And so if we are going after somebody and the way we're asking questions or the way we're pointing out things, remember that we've always got to start with something that kind of anesthetizes that. Something like, one of the things you've talked about is how you want to get better in your work or this, that, and the other. And I think you're great. And one of the things I think that might be helpful for you to look at if you wanted to, a way that you could actually, do better is, see, what I've done is I've prefaced it with a lot of, and here's the big kind of line in this. I prefaced it with, I am for you, not against you. And if we can figure out ways to show people, I've got an idea that might help you. Or I've got an idea that might help you with what you're talking about where you struggle with your boss. Or, you know what, I really value you as a friend, and because of that, I'd like to share. Whatever, there's a million different ways to do this. But you're trying to show them that you're for them and not against them. And then I would watch the tone. Another way is that you could refer to yourself first and say, I don't know about you, but, in that kind of situation, I know I've struggled and, it was hard for me to speak up or whatever it is. And here's something that I found helped me, right? And so what you're doing is you're sort of kind of modeling for them how to not be defensive. So I would just remember, not everybody's going to be not defensive, but try to do things that sort of lower it. And the third thing is, when you get defensiveness, then I want you to think about kind of at that juncture which way you want to go, depending on what kind of group you're in. There's sometimes you get defensiveness and you want to lean into the defensiveness, right? Because the group has decided this is a place where we're going to really talk about some difficult stuff. So somebody's defensive and you just notice it and you just say, gosh, I'm sorry, did that hurt your feelings? Or, oh, it seemed like that bothered you. Did I do something? And so what you're doing is you're not making it a problem. You're making it an area of concern that you're going to lean into because your group has really talked about that that's something that you want to do. Now the other thing is sometimes the group is not like that, and you notice some defensiveness, and you might want to just direct traffic another way. Just give an empathic statement like, oh, well, I can understand that, and then kind of move on because every group leader or every facilitator of some sort has got to kind of have the barometer going of knowing what a group or a person can metabolize. And if you're over that line and you're not overtly kind of having permission to go there, or that's not why you're there, then you kind of want to steer it another way. So show them your forum and empathize and reveal yourself, and probably most of the time you can kind of make it okay. So try that.